Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks, part 2 of this. I helped somebody figure out the center of a non-centerable item. And he said, that was great, but sometimes I have to do full sheets of them. So what we're going to use the table tool, which is underneath your text tool. It's unlike the graph paper because it acts a little different. And we want 5 down and 6 across. So I'm just going to kind of fill up the whole page. Well, then I need to go and change this to 540 to 300. So I'm going to go 540. Now I got my ratio unlocked, so it won't change the number. Well, I don't know what I did there. 540. Why is it doing that 0.0? By 300. Let's double check it. Now, I don't know why that's changing that. Okay, there it is. 540 by 300. So that's the size of the one he sent before. But watch what happens. It doesn't make it the full size with this table tool. So what you have to do now, and that would actually work, but click on it and go up to Object and break the table apart. Then, when you create it, it goes to the full length. Now, we're not going to do anything else to it because now we want to figure out the center of those lines. So I'm going to bring in an indexing line, and if you'll look, it'll snap to the midpoint. Bring in another indexing line, and you could actually do this another way that might be a little bit quicker. It's either going to say center or midpoint. And let's go ahead and do one more. You don't want the edge, then come over here, midpoint. So that's exactly the center of that square. And then this is what he was maybe a little bit confused about because he was going the next step and then not being able to center it. Because the next step is going to change them into lines, which is the advantage of the table tool. So now that we have the center, we can take our box, go up to Object, convert them to a curve, go up to Object, Group, and Ungroup. Now what you have is individual lines, which is the advantage. It's going to save you laser time. It's going to save you wood. So for a second, I'm going to group them together. I should have put P to put them off the edges. Well, that didn't work. I should have done that first, but we're going to leave that alone right now because we can change that. He can move that around because this is the center. So now we're going to take this item without the holes and just place it in here. And, well, if we would have done it before, let me zoom in. I didn't think about this. So that's not going to work. So let's back up here before we ungrouped them. See, we still got a group. Now you'll be able to grab this, grab that block. Hopefully, no, can't grab that block. Oh, you know what? Maybe he doesn't have Snap 2 guidelines on. He doesn't. There's the key. Snap 2 guidelines, grab that center cross, and look at it snapping right to it. I'm going to use the same one, but just, you can go right here. I mean, it's pretty easy. Snap 2 guideline. Now, the other one is almost like we did earlier. I'm going to just get these closer. And if, I don't remember what they were off, but he'll be able to determine that. And so what you want to do, you want to put that right there in that center. Put that one right there in that center or intersection. And this is the one you can do all the holes at one time. So now we're going to change our nudge factor. Let's say if we move it, well, let's just go 5 millimeters. No, that's too much. Let's go back. Let's go only 2 millimeters. Move it all. Well, that's not enough. Okay, do it twice. Hit 2 twice. 1, 2. Maybe that's it. So now what I would do is I would take this, shift select that, group them together, Control G. And if you remember, our box is 60 inches tall. So we're going to change our nudge factor to 60. Then grab your circles and just hit the plus key all the way down. So you don't have to do the other ones. Now, let's move this out of the way for a second. And if we don't grab, let's actually move that other one. If we don't grab the entire thing, we're just going to get the holes. Control D. Okay. I don't know if that's a setting on his or the way it comes through, but you need to set this on 0, 0 and leave it there. So now we're going to make our nudge factor 90 inches. So grab these, Control G to group, Control D to duplicate, and move them over, Control D, Control D, Control D. So now your holes are all in the center. And then it's going to be a little bit painstaking to go, but if you have Snap 2 guidelines on, and I missed it, you need to grab it right on that X, and it'll snap right to that X. Let's see if we can't just let's get rid of these dots. And you'd have group together, and then you could take it, make sure you get that 4-sided X, and have it snap right to there. You know, there would be an easier way if you didn't be able to take this apart and have individual lines. If you just had blocks, you could just, well, you know, like I did in the first video, if we had a rectangle that was 90 by 60 by 60, you wouldn't have to do that, because then all you have to do is shift select your text, shift select your box, then go EC and then put it right in there. But because we don't have that advantage, but then you're going to go to object, group, and ungroup them all. And then that way you have all these individual lines. And it is a big deal not to cut it but one time. Not only are you going to save laser time and wood, but let's say you had the blocks next to each other, you're going to have more laser flare up, laser dust, flame, burn, sap coming out of the wood if it's wood. He's probably not using wood, he's probably using acrylic, but it would keep it from getting super hot. But the main thing, it's going to save a lot of laser time, because it's just going to go cut, 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 cut. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.